Hi, my name is Christine Singletary, and this is my presentation on disaster management in Bangladesh. The People's Republic of Bangladesh is located in South Asia. It is bordered by India to the west, north, and east, and by Burma to the southeast. The Bay of Bengal is to its south. It is considered the world's 8th most populous country with over 160 million people. Bangladesh is a unitary parliament republic with an elected parliament. Geographically, it is dominated by the world's largest delta, the Bengal Delta. Size-wise, Bangladesh is about the size of Iowa. It is tropical in climate with a monsoon season that starts in June and goes until October. Bangladesh's Department of Disaster Management falls under the Ministry of Disaster Management and Relief. It was established in November of 2012. The Disaster Management Act of 2012 was put together after 2 years of joint advocacy efforts of the ECB Bangladesh Consortium and was approved by the Minister for Food and Disaster Management on September 12, 2012. The Act provides an opportunity to improve the delivery and coordination of disaster management in Bangladesh. The Act's purpose is to reduce the overall vulnerability from different types of disasters by using risk-reducing activities, conducting humanitarian assistance programs, and coordinating programs with various government and non-government organizations. The implementation pattern of Bangladesh's Department of Disaster Management seems to be a top-down pattern, with Director General of the DDM networking with various ministries, departments, agencies, and non-governmental organizations to reduce the risk of and response to disasters. Bangladesh is a country that is known for a high level of poverty and a high vulnerability for disasters. In 1991, Bangladesh was hit by a super cyclone that caused approximately 140,000 deaths. The cyclone had an estimated wind speed of 250 kilometers per hour, which is 155 miles per hour, or Category 4 strength. And it caused a 6-meter or 20-foot high storm surge inland. If there had been a better disaster plan in place, the devastation would not have been as bad as it was. After the cyclone hit, the government of Bangladesh realized they needed a better disaster management policy. Thus came about the Disaster of Management Act of 2012. It took them that long to establish a disaster plan. Bangladesh is prone to tropical cyclones, storm surges, floods, nor'westers, tornadoes, and droughts. In the current Disaster of Management Act of 2012, they have a hazard plan for flood, cyclone, and storm surge, tornadoes, earthquakes, droughts, arsenic contamination, tsunami, fire, infrastructure collapse, and landslides. In an effort to protect the population, stronger building codes have been enforced to help against the dangers against cyclones. Shelters for people living in low-lying areas have also been built so that population can be evacuated during a cyclone or flooding of the low-lying areas. A flood warning and forecasting system has been put into place. Cyclones are the typical storm for Bangladesh, but they do get hit with nor'westerners and tornadoes. These types of storms are harder to forecast and happen so quickly. Bangladesh uses a network of radars and satellites for early detection of these storms. Bangladesh's Department of Disaster Management is comprised of 8 wings or sections. They are listed here as the National Disaster Management Council, Interministerial Disaster Management Coordination Committee, and goes all the way to Union Disaster Management Committee. each of these councils and committees are comprised of different governmental and non-governmental agencies, such as your armed forces, your military forces, and local, all the way down to local police and emergency type agencies. One of the broadcasting systems, one of the warning systems, early warning systems that Bangladesh uses, which I found really interesting, is the cell phone broadcasting system that they have. It's not available throughout Bangladesh, but it's a pilot program, and they send out almost like text these warning systems. You sign up for this to be a part of this pilot program, and you get an announcement, a warning about possible disasters. I thought this was really neat because, you know, we have the ability to download an app. I have one on my phone that tells me every time a thunderstorm comes through the area. So what seems like an everyday availability to us is, you know, really interesting in a third world country. Bangladesh is a poor country with a high poverty and disaster rating. After devising the Disaster Management Act, they had to wait more than 2 decades to get it approved. It was only approved after the 1991 super cyclone hit and had such a high death toll. It wasn't until then that the Bangladesh government decided they needed a plan and a mechanism to put that plan into place. With being such a poor country, they seem to me to have an outlet to inform their citizens of impending disasters and recovery information. And this is a picture of me and my family at the FSU BYU game in 2009. Go Noles!